Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game from Scratch, and today we're going to be taking a look at a very cool, but also very new project for Godot called FlowKit. So what exactly is FlowKit? Well, it brings visual event-driven programming to Godot 4.x. Specifically, it brings the kind of programming flow you've got from programs like ClickTeam Fusion or Construct. So it enables you to also create these event-driven, kind of spreadsheet-esque way of programming your game. Again, it is very new, very early on. It is under the MIT license. This is completely free if you want to go ahead and check it out. First, let's go hands-on and showcase how this works. You can see I've already got it installed. You'll see it shows up down here at the bottom as FlowKit. You can actually grab this one from the asset store. Just come on up here and look for FlowKit. You'll find it available right there. Just go ahead and download that into your project. Once you have done that, go to Project, Project Settings, Plugins, and enable FlowKit. Once you have enabled FlowKit, you will see down here, you get the FlowKit window. That is the heart of FlowKit itself. Now, to showcase this one, it's a lot easier just to do it in 2D mode. So I'm going to show you a very simple example. I'm going to bring this 2D node into our world, boom, like so. So we have sky stars as a sprite in our world. And down here, let's go ahead and we'll create a new event sheet like so. And it is event driven. So you're going to notice here you've got events, you've got conditions, and you've got actions. By the way, you also have this button here. You can click it the first time. It will scan your scene and automatically create bindings for you. It is experimental. It may or may not work right, but that will cause a reload, by the way, after you do so. So once you got it, here is your simple scene. If I want to add some logic to this guy, what I do is come down here and add a new event. So what you see, I pick my node. Feedback to the author, I would love to see a search here, because once you get into larger scenes like this one over here, you'll notice here, if I go ahead and add, I got to go through my entire scene. So it'd be lovely to have a filter and search option here in the selected node feature. But anyways, come on back here. You go here. Let's create a new event sheet. Boom. Add an event like so, and we're going to bind to our T stars. Now what it's going to do is go through and find all the applicable events for that guy. And this was part of what is generated when you click this edit button over here, and it does the auto scan. So if I want to do this like every frame, I could go ahead and say on process. That is going to be our every frame call, and then boom. So this code is going to execute every single frame. So what I'm going to do now is say add an action. I can pick my guy over here, and once again, then I can pick what I want to see happen. So every frame, I could have it move local Y right here, and then what you're doing is you're saying the delta here, so float, so we're going to move by 1, and scaled at 0, and then boom. So there is our logic. So you see on process, T sky stars, move local Y on T sky stars, delta of 1, scaled of 0. We'll go ahead, we'll save our sheet like so. So it is applied to the T sky stars over here, and we'll go ahead and run our current scene. And then boom, there you see, we're moving along the y-axis. Now, if you want to do something conditional, what you do is come back in here and you add a condition. Now, condition gets a little nasty. Hopefully, they tweak the UI here a little bit going forward. But I could come here and basically I could pick any one of these conditions over here. So compare is visible, for example, or rotation or something along those lines. I can pick any particular value that I want. And then if that is true, or I could just do a straight up node variable. This is our condition. I type the value over here, so say is visible, and then 0, and then confirm. There is one example of logic. So now if this logic is true, this will execute. So now I should be able to go ahead and move that up. So now this will only execute if this condition is true. By the way, you can have multiple events, and you can tie them to multiple different nodes. So here, a different node, for example. So I'll call on hidden on this guy, and then we go ahead, we could add a condition or we can add an action. Once again, the actions are keyed off of the node that you have selected. And the really cool thing here is all of these things, these actions, conditions, and so on, you can write your own code for handling all of them. And that is basically how your game logic will work. There's been a few things, like I've had it where it lost values when I went away and came back without saving. So there's a few things I got to work on from the save system. Again, it would also be nice to, again, have that filtering in here for selection and so on. Same for events, but really small quibble for a product that literally just came out. So this is an interesting approach to programming. If you've never seen it before, again, GDevelop uses something like this, Construct does, and so on. So a number of different programming languages use this particular approach. Again, ClickTeam Fusion, I forget what ClickTeam Fusion was called beforehand, but that's kind of the one that pioneered it. So you go over here, it's available. You can learn more about FlowKit at flowkit.lexion.dev. Again, this is entirely open source. You got some details of how it works. So node-based architecture, it is extensible. Resource-based storage, it integrates into the editor, has a runtime engine, the event sheet style system. You can see a couple different examples of getting going, and here is how you get up and started. Now, the cool thing here, let's go into the code for this one. This is implemented entirely using GDScript. So you see here, source code, 100% GDScript over here. Now, the neat thing here is if you go into the script, so you see over here, well, you've got all these various different things available. So actions, conditions, and events. Well, if you want to write your own, literally you just come on in here and write them. And they're super simple. So actions, for example, here are ones defined for character body 2D or system. Again, it can also try and automatically generate them. That's what this does. It creates from the things in your scene. It will automatically try to create these for you. But if you want to create your own bindings, or if there's a community that forms behind this, people can contribute to this project and basically just come on in here. So say character body 2D, all the mappings for it. So the move and collide. Here is how you create an action. So there you see FX action. You just simple ID. So it's move and collide. It's given a name, move and collide without the underscores there. Inputs is an array of values, so name, X, type, float, and then basically execute. This is the code to call move and collide. So that is how easy it is to expose your own things as actions. So the community could easily come behind this and start creating their own actions for this. Same thing here for conditions. So say system level conditions, comparing a variable. This is the logic for a variable comparison node. Super easy. And again, the community could form behind this and really pump up the number of things that are available out of the box, which is quite cool. And then same thing for events. So here you can see node events. Here is your on process. And here is how simple it is to create an extension for an event, which FK event. And then you basically here, this is the polling call, checking for that particular event. And then it just returns true or false if the event occurs. Super simple stuff. So extending FlowKit should be super simple. And again, all you do is create a new entry in actions, conditions, or events, and then they will run on your, they'll be available here in your extension. So obviously make sure that you've added them inside of your add-ins. Make sure that you're doing it here. Actions, conditions, events. But once you've defined those, you could create custom extensions to this. And again, I could really see a community forming around this and making a whole ton of conditions, events, and actions available. And you could have this really cool new programming system for the Godot language, for the Godot game engine, really simply created. So the cool thing here is this is very new. You're going to notice here, 2 days old. And if you like what he's doing here, come on in, give him a star. There's none yet. So this is the project. Let's explode this one up. Let's increase the popularity of it, get some exposure to it, because again, I think the kernel of something really cool is here, because visual programming works great if it makes life easier. And for some people, this is definitely going to be a nicer workflow than working with, say, GDScript even, or of course, like C++ or other options out there. It is a really cool Godot visual scripting option, a very new project. Again, if you like what he's doing here, come on in and give him a star. All right, that's it. That is FlowKit by Lexion. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.